Hi, my name is Keith Cooper, and in this video today I'm going to be having a look at aspects of selling prints, photos, cards of your work, whatever, of selling things. And the key element of it is not to be too helpful to your clients, customers. What do I mean too helpful? Well, choice is good, so you need to have a sufficient range of things to offer. It's unlikely that until you've built up a sort of a reasonable range of products to sell, that you're going to make a successful business of it. I don't know many single item businesses. There are some, but it's not very common. So choice is good, but the problem is that too much choice is not so good. People get confused by too much choice. So it doesn't mean you can have too many items. It means perhaps that you can display and show stuff in ways which doesn't channel your potential customers into becoming actual customers. It's no good them looking at your website, your shop, whatever, and thinking, oh, they're rather nice, and going away. Or even, well, that's nice, but oh, I don't know which one to get. So when you're putting stuff out like this, be clear what it is you're offering. And I come across all too often people just don't have a clarity. It's a bit of a shotgun approach. It's a sort of, well, I want to sell stuff. I don't know what will sell, so I'll do lots of different things. Now, I could say for photography, a good example of it would be if I said, right, well, I've got these 4 prints to sell. I've got a black and white one. I've got a colour one because I'm not sure whether people want black or white or colour. These are local Leicestershire pictures. Oh, here's one of my cathedral pictures in black and white. Should I do some colour ones for that? Oh, no, we won't. And there's a picture of a boat in Amble. Now, this particular one, I'm sure there are people in Amble who would quite like the picture. It was just taken when I was out one night, people unloading from a fishing boat. But that's different to pictures of Leicester. So what's the theme of these? Well, nothing really. And as part of the sort of being too helpful, it's the I should let people choose, I should offer them everything. No, you have to actually sort of make a few decisions where you're going to go for your market. As I say, too much choice can be bad. Now, there may be a way, if I'd got lots of other pictures, I could arrange pictures in different ways so that people looking for certain things were funneled down to finding images of a certain type. But if you've just got a large collection of stuff, think about it, curate it, think about things where you really want to sell. Why did I think specifically this? Well, the other day I do some bespoke printing training for people, and I was out visiting somebody and got a very nice printer, and they were going to do a print, and it was from some scan film from years ago. They've got quite a big archive and they want to print them. They're pictures that will actually sell. And so we printed one, and we printed it at A2. And then decided, well, have we got the tonality right for this? Because part of your printing process, like anything, I've got lots of videos on printing, is about how you edit images and how they come out. And that depends on the paper, depends on the lighting. So we did a second print, an A2 print, but slightly lighter. Now, these were colour prints. And between the two, there's not that much difference. And the guy I was talking to was showing this stuff. He said, and it was a picture that someone had specifically commissioned a print of. They knew the image and they decided they wanted a print of it. He said, well, perhaps I should send them both of them. Well, that's very nice. But no, you have to make the decision what it is you're selling. If you haven't got the confidence to do it, imagine you've ordered a print and you get 2 copies of a print turn up because the printmaker has said, well, I'm not sure which of these is best, so have both of them. Well, first of all, that suggests they're not that valuable. They're not that special. The person now has a second print. They're going to look at them much more closely than they would have done for technical imperfections and things like that. They're going to look at stuff much more than they would have done. And then they're going to be faced about what they're going to do with the spare print. Are they going to give it away for somebody as a present? Are they going to keep it just in case? No, you've devalued your product. And part of what I was talking about with this guy is how he was going to make products of these pictures. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of it, but they are eminently sellable pictures from the 60s, 70s, 80s, which there is a market for. And that exists. It's much like I've got the black and white picture here, and there's a colour picture. Now, they are of the same tree. I actually have a black and white print of this one here. And a colour print of this. I did them while I was testing some papers, so it's my excuse for doing lots of prints. If I say, well, I'm not sure, they both look good, I'm not sure whether I like black or white. Someone orders a black and white print of this off me, and I go, well, yeah, this is okay, but I'm not sure, here's a colour version of it as well. Would you like both? Because I'm not going to do that. I'm going to assume that the print they want is the print they've asked for. So don't mistake trying to be helpful to potential clients as always actually being helpful for them. It's not called the tyranny of choice for nothing. The more choice you give people, the more indecision they may have. And if you are unsure of a version of an image, be very careful about displaying, say, 6 versions of the same tree. Go for one, push that. If you can't decide which one you like, offsetting that choice onto the customer and saying, well, I've got these half dozen pictures of this tree. They're all much of a muchness to me. I think they're all okay. You pick which one you want. No, that's not the attitude you really want for it. So it lowers value. And for stuff like this, you are trying to make value. Even if you're printing just basic cards. Now, this is from the review of the Epson 8550 I did. And this is a watercolour by a friend of mine that I scanned using that and produced a print of it on a nice art paper, on a watercolour style art paper print. Great. I've got this. I don't think she's found that many people to send them to yet. One card does not make a range. You need to have a look at, and just as I said, when you take pictures, there needs to be something pulling them together. You need perhaps some style of your own. Careful how you present things of it. The technical side is relatively irrelevant to this. I'll come back to people asking me about printers in a bit, but really the technical side, you've made the product. You've got to look at it at marketing. Now comes to something that I don't know how widely available it is on BBC iPlayer. It's a series, late afternoon series, that's been on about 15 programmes, I think, and it's called Make It at Market. BBC, you can find it on iPlayer. Not sure internationally, as I say, how visible it is, but if you see it somewhere on YouTube or something, Make It at Market. It's great. It takes people who are eminently skilled at crafts, all kinds of things, and if they don't have a photographer there, but it's the same. It is people with artistic, creative expertise, and they're looking to get a business and to make some money from it, because a business that doesn't make money is a hobby. A hobby can make a little bit of money, but it doesn't make it into a business. Quite a different attitude. I've got lots of videos on the business side of things if you're curious about this. But what do they talk about? They nearly always talk about marketing. It's always about marketing. They are trying to get people to value their work. People traditionally underprice their work. One of the reasons they underprice the work, and this goes for photographers, it goes for people making cards and everything as well, they don't properly value their time. Now, they suggest that one of the things you should have if you want to make a market is a product or line of products that are easy for you to make and sell well. Now, I might have large prints, but I might decide that what sells fairly well, if I can find the market and identify who actually wants it. Because remember, it's not about where you sell things. It's about who buys them. You have to look at the people who wants your work, not how good your work is or anything like that, but who wants it. So I might have a range of cards. Now, cards of these prints I can knock out all day long. If it really takes off, then it becomes a fulfillment business, and I'm looking at production skills. This is one of the aspects they cover regularly on Make It to Market, is that you need production skills. You need to be able to make things cheaply and rapidly. Now, that's relatively cheaply, so it can still be an expensive, relatively expensive product, maybe a few £100 or something in terms of these craft items and that. But it's still got to be something which you can put out in, if not large volume, sufficient volume to be a bread and butter earning opportunity for your business, something that will bring in income. You can go for larger things. Now, I know from selling prints for years, and I've only sold few prints. It's not a major part of my business. I'm a commercial architectural photographer. I know that people love prints this size, but they don't have room for them on the walls. So I offer a range of sizes. So I offer these prints at A4 as well. And any of these particular ones, I'll do them at smaller sizes. They're easy to do, they're quick to do. I keep my images, my image files, any print that I've made, I keep the file that was used for making it, so I can go back and just produce some more. And the other thing that it always comes round to it is profitability. Now, this comes to the bit of people not charging enough for their work. People rarely charge enough. So they don't think of the actual costs. They think, oh, well, the paper costs so much, the ink costs so much. How much does the printer cost? They're not looking at what is, if you're doing any volume of stuff, the principal cost, and that is your time and effort. You need to cost that as well, because it's about making a profit. People ask the wrong questions. So I've got an image here. This is a test image. These are downloadable things. This is a test image specifically for testing media for cards. It's quite a tricky image to print on some card media, but if you can't print this, then it says that the paper you're using, the media you're using, is possibly not the best one for the printer. But in printing this, I might try and print several of these just to see how the printer takes stacking card. Does the card stack in the printer, or have I got to feed one at a time? And this is why I said that, quite often people ask me about, I want a printer for printing cards. I'm going to set up a card business. And I say that because this is the most common one I'm asked. And the technical side of what printer, that seems to be the major question. They never ever say, I want cards to sell into such and such a market, or I want something, I've got the following market. What does it take? What printer will do this? Because I've had small printers here that if you wanted to do many cards, you'd end up just maybe one card at a time. Some of them will take half a dozen, some will take a few more. There are far more questions than how cheap is this printer? So if you're thinking of ever asking, I want a printer for my card business, answer a lot of other questions first, because they will tell you the sort of stuff you mean. But it still comes down to running a successful business. And going back to it, that means dealing with your potential customers, knowing who they are, knowing where they are. If you know who they are, you'll likely know where they are, and that will suggest ways of getting through to them. But think about their point of view. And that's why I said don't be too helpful, because sometimes what you think is being helpful, giving them lots of choice, is actually going to put them off. Now, I hope that's of some interest. Please do ask questions. The questions I get asked are often what give me ideas for doing these short videos. And if you've got any specific issues as well, let me know. And I hope it's been of use. So thanks for watching. Oh, and please do subscribe to the channel. Thanks.